James walked slowly down the old road. It was the same road he had walked many times as a child, but now everything looked different. The trees were taller, the houses had new colors, and the people on the street were strangers. He had been away for 15 years. Now he was back in the village where he was born. His heart was beating fast. He had dreamed of this moment many times. He had left when he was 18, looking for a better life in the city. Now, at 33, he wanted to see his mother again. He wanted to tell her everything about his life. He wanted to come home. He stopped in front of a small house with blue shutters. The garden was full of flowers, just like he remembered. He took a deep breath and knocked on the door. After a few seconds, an old woman opened the door. She had gray hair and kind eyes. James smiled. "Hello, Mom," he said softly. The woman looked at him with confusion. "I'm sorry, young man," she said. "Who are you?" James felt his heart stop. This was not what he expected. "Mom, it's me, James, your son." The woman shook her head. "I don't have a son named James," she said. "You must be mistaken." James took a step back. His mother did not recognize him. How was this possible? He felt lost. "Can I come in?" he asked. The woman hesitated, then nodded. "Of course, if you say you know me, then maybe we can talk." James entered the house. It smelled the same, fresh bread and lavender. He looked around. The furniture was the same, but something felt different. It felt empty. "Mom, do you live alone?" he asked. "Yes," she said, sitting on a wooden chair. "My son went away many years ago. He never came back." "But I came back," James said desperately. "I am your son." The woman looked at him with sad eyes. "I don't remember you," she whispered. Tears filled James's eyes. He wanted to hug her, but he was afraid. What had happened? How could she forget him? "Mom, do you remember anything about your son?" he asked. She sighed. "I remember he had brown hair and blue eyes. He was a good boy. He loved to run in the fields, but one day he left. He said he would return, but he never did." James touched his chest. "Mom, I did return." She looked at him carefully. "You look like him," she said slowly. "But my son would not stay away for so many years. He would not forget his mother." James closed his eyes. "I never forgot you, Mom," he said. "I wanted to come home, but life was hard. I thought you would be waiting for me." The woman looked away. "I don't know what to say." James felt cold. He had come back for love, but he had found only emptiness. His mother did not know him. His home did not feel like home anymore. Then she spoke again. "I lost many things over the years," she said. "Memories fade, but tell me, young man, why did you return?" James did not know how to answer. He had returned to find his family, but now he was not sure if he had a family anymore. James sat in silence, staring at his mother. She did not remember him. She did not believe he was her son. He wanted to cry, but he took a deep breath and tried to stay calm. "I came back because I missed you," said softly. "I wanted to see you again. I wanted to come home." The woman looked at him with gentle eyes. "You seem like a good man," she said. "But my son, he never came back. If you are really him, why did you take so long?" James swallowed hard. He had no good answer. "I thought I would have more time," he admitted. "I thought you would always be here waiting for me." The woman shook her head. "Time does not wait," she said. James looked around the room. There were pictures on the wall. He saw an old photo of himself as a child standing next to his mother. He pointed at it. "That's me," he said. She stood up and walked to the picture. She touched it gently, then turned back to James. "It does look like you," she said, "but I am afraid my heart does not remember." James felt something break inside him. His mother was here, right in front of him, but she was so far away. "What happened to you, Mom?" he asked. "Why don't you remember me?" She sighed. "I forget many things now. Some days I even forget my own name. The doctor says it is my memory. It is getting worse with time." James closed his eyes. His mother had lost her memories. That was why she did not know him. He had waited too long to come home. A tear rolled down his cheek. "I am sorry, Mom," he whispered. The woman looked at him for a long moment. Then, slowly, she reached out and took his hand. "Tell me about my son," she said. James smiled sadly. "He was a good boy," he said. "He loved to run in the fields. He always helped his mother. And when he left, he never stopped thinking about her." The woman nodded. "That sounds like my son." James held her hand tighter. "Mom, I promise I won't leave again. I will stay with you. I will help you remember." The woman smiled softly. "Maybe I don't remember everything," she said, "but something in my heart tells me I can trust you." James felt warmth spread through him. Maybe she did not remember him completely, but she was still his mother, and he was still her son. He was home.